Once again to our December 14th, 2007 Christmas special here on KC Anthem. I'm Mitch Baker, your host with the most, joining you once again, and today I have a very funny man on the show. His name is Squishy Man. Squish, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, Kansas City? What's up?
So where are you from? Where are you from?
Do you want me to lie or tell the truth, man?
Oh, just let it all out
Man,
there.
I'm from Topeka, Kansas, man. I can't help it. I almost said Lawrence, but I'm from Topeka, Kansas, yeah, man.
Well, how long you been doing comedy now?
All my life, man, all my life.
So you always like to make people laugh from the time you was younger? You always knew that's kind of what you was wanting to do?
Well, man, I just know I wanted to get out of Topeka. That's all I know. So there wasn't too many options, so I just thought I'd find some way to get out. So now I've been touring for about 8 years. So, oh man, like this year on this tour, this was the I'm Not Fat, I'm Squishy tour 2007. Thank you. 25 states. And it started with Florida. Oh, it was wonderful in Florida. Oh, yes. Because, see, up in Kansas City, y'all had like 3 inches of ice. Y'all fuckers was sliding around, and I was surfboarding and shit. Yeah, but, but look, yeah, I love Florida. And I'm trying to think. Jacksonville was great. Yeah. Port Charlotte. It was funny, though, because I went to Port Charlotte, and then we put our feet, me and Mrs. Squishy and Little Squishy, we put our feet into the Gulf of Mexico. And then later on that day, we went over to Fort Lauderdale and put our feet into the Atlantic Ocean, man. It was great, man.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Now, what are the crowds like, you know, from state to state? Where'd you end up ending that tour?
Oh, wow. Well, that little session right there ended up in, North Carolina, I think, yeah. Now, the best tour I've had so far was the one in South Dakota when I was able to take the family up to Mount Rushmore, go over to Devil's Tower, and up to Bismarck, North Dakota. And then we ended up in Minnesota. Now, see, Minnesota was kind of interesting because it went through right after the bridge had fallen. So I was able to do a private show and do some funny there. Which is hard to do when you just had a bridge fall, you know? So I did a little private show there for the survivors of it. But I took my daughter there so she could see the structural damage and shit like that, you know what I mean? But see, that weirds me out too because who designed them bridges? Structural engineers. See, that shows you why you shouldn't get an online degree.
Yeah,
For
really
real,
no
right
shit.
there, for real.
Oh, well, the holidays are here again, obviously. What were the holidays like for you growing up over the lifetime?
Man, growing up was kind of hard because you have, I have 6 sisters and 2 brothers, so it was a lot of us in the family. So we kind of knew what we were going to get year from year because they just handed down the same clothes from one another, you know? Or we knew we were just going to get some shit that one of our neighbors had for sale at the garage sale or something, you know, we were just going to have. You know how embarrassing that is to get some shit from garage sale from somebody you know from school, and then you wearing that shit to school next year as your new clothes? That's the kind of shit we had to do growing up. But it was fun, you know, when you live like that, you really don't care. Because as long as you're a family, that's all that matters, you know? So we didn't care if we was rich or poor, or didn't have a chimney or a door or nothing, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have heat, nothing, but anyhow.
Well, that's, a lot of people have to go through that. I know that growing up for me, Christmas was always tight, so I can definitely relate to that. Now, what are your plans for this holiday season? What do you got going on this year?
Man, I'm taking since the tour has wound down, I'm done. I got 24 states in. I didn't get to Colorado, and it's too fucking cold to go. So 24 states. I'm going to spend a few weeks now with my family, enjoying some of the holiday together. Now the little one, her daughter's with her daddy. Thank God. So then we're going to have to do family thing, and, we got Christmas, and her mom wants her to know Santa comes, and I wanted to tell her that Santa's bullshit, Look, this is the real motherfucking Santa right here. This motherfucker will take the gifts, okay, for real. Addison, run!
Oh, well, I know it's been a big year for you, and give us a little bit of a recap on 2007.
Man, there's been a lot of miles. There's been over 60,000 miles I've calculated. Well, that's for the IRS, okay? But 60,000 miles, long hours. Man, I got hemorrhoids. I got irritable bowel syndrome. You don't know what that's like having to drive 12 hours. I drove back from Fort Bragg to Kansas City. It was 17 and a half hours, y'all. I had to shit 12 times, man. It was awful, man. But the tour has been on and off, been sick in Dickinson, North Dakota. I went to Applebee's, and they have the Ultimate Trio, and I got food poisoning from it. See, they didn't tell you the Ultimate Trio was going to be like, you was going to be puking intestinal shit and diarrhea, all right? Shit. But I was all sick. It was so funny because I took my little daughter with me, little Squishy, right? And we was there, and she was like, you got to go on tonight? Oh, you're sick, huh? And I said, yeah. She said, I hope you don't throw up tonight on stage. That's how a little fucker do, I'm telling you. But that was good. But I think some of the things that's really done it was the Minneapolis Bridge, when I got to be around that event and take my daughter to that. And then also I was in Blacksburg, Virginia on Valentine's Day. I'm doing a gig. And then a month and a half later, that was when the Virginia Tech massacre occurred. So I got to go back when I was in Bluefield, West Virginia, and do a memorial show for that. So that's something I was really proud of.
Yeah, that's really cool. Well,
sounded like he was really interested. Did you see that?
No, I mean that's something cool to do. That's just kind of a tough note to talk on there.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big deal. How'd you feel? What was it like going back in there and trying to make those people laugh after everything that happened?
Man, well, for me it's pretty easy, man, because as long as you're real about your comedy, I tell stories and shit. And I told him I hope that he didn't massacre him because of some shit I might have said earlier, because I say all kind of crazy shit, because like today, look, High School Musical is the biggest thing my little daughter wants to see, and they're talking about, if you win it on MTV, they'll bring music, theater, and dance to your school. I'm like, surprised? Because we don't have that shit in school no more. Not only that, we don't have English in school. We might as well fucking have Spanish. And I said that shit, and oh boy, he happened to be an English major, so I hope he didn't take it for heart, what I'm saying? And when I said that kind of shit, they was laughing, and so it kind of cooled it down, but it was like, yeah, it's hard to talk about that kind of stuff. But when something is that painful, you either have to laugh about it or you're going to put a bullet in your head, you see?
Yeah.
And that's where I come into play.
It's the best healing medicine, I'll tell you what.